Welcome to today's episode. Well, it's not really an episode, but today's show event. We've been very fortunate to have Team A takers come and share their expertise and their experience so far in the stock market. Basically, jumping off from what Chairman said a while ago, what's really important for every single individual is to know what your trading identity is. And Team A Takers actually has a slightly different approach to how we do it, but the beauty about it is that they're still very systematic, and everything that they do is still rules-based, science-based, and less of art. And that's what we really, really like when it comes to any trading system that you'll ever encounter, right? So welcome, guys. JP, Bea, Adric,
Hello.
and Sir Bry.
Hello, we're back.
Okay, so maybe why don't you guys share to everybody first a little bit about yourself? JP, you've been in Caylum Batch 1, and basically just share how you guys started and where you guys ended up today. JP, why don't you start para hindi makaba yung dalawang kasama mo?
Um, my name is JP Herman. So, I'm an electrical engineer. So, baka may mga nakarelate dyan na engineer. So, I'm not into finance. And, yeah, I started with the Caylum batch 1. And then I was hired in Citisec. So, I'm now with CTS for 6 years now. And then I'm handling Adric and Bea. And another one we have on our team is our data scientist is RJ Hayoma, but he's not here now. Nasa Mindanao siya. So, ayun. So, this is our team, 8 takers. So, 8 takers is for, normally we, pinangalan namin siya kasi we do take profits always. Yun lang.
You know,
Walang talo.
walang talo.
So I mean, like, sorry, just going back. One of the things that we always talk about is trend trading versus counter trends, diba? And we always talk about easy money versus hard money. And your approach has always been focusing on that easy money, diba?
Yes.
So timeframes for us can be different based on individuals. Especially me, when I like a story, usually my approach is looking at a few months to several months, actually, depending on how much I love that story or not, diba? And when I'm right also. But for you guys, the time horizon has been very short, I assume, diba? So maybe the young ones can share first their experience. Bea and Adric, maybe you can share your experience first on when this type of trading style actually fit your personality, and how did you know that mas bagay to sa'yo kaysa bumili ng coils, bumili ng position trading, bumili ng weekly to a monthly type of time horizon? Bea?
Okay. Nag-start ako mag-trade ng US actually last 2018. So, I tried nga various setups. So, like coils, pullbacks, ganyan. Pero, I realized na comfortable ako mag-trade ng momentum and I was making money using momentum setups. Tapos, since then, nag-start ako gumawa ng sarili kong strategy. Hanggang sa, yun nga, nag-evolve siya into scalping intraday. So, from then, actually, yung trading intraday, it's like trading lang din siya ng daily setup, pero in much lower time frame. So, yun lang. Nag-evolve lang siya talaga into scalping.
Adric, anything to add
Yep.
on your...
Ako personally, yung trading style ko is the momentum setup. Less of the intraday. Pero I take profits din right away kapag na-hit na yung TP ko, which is 1 hour, and trying to hold the balance. So that's mainly what I'm doing. Pero with the mindset na may opportunity ulit tomorrow and then the next day. That's what in CTS we call it the grind traders. Yun. And less of the coils and resets for now.
Yep. So you talked about opportunity every day. I think medyo important yun, diba? Kasi sometimes people miss out. So like, just to share my experience, like last week, inis na inis ako eh. Kasi naiwan ako ng 6-0, 6-0, and 1810 Xiaomi that has earnings because I can't play it, diba? But to you, I assume it doesn't really matter because you're just taking, like, there's always going to be one good trade every single day for you guys, diba? So what's the system like? So momentum is very straightforward, I believe, especially the ones who've been taking Caylum, diba? Pero let's say like on an intraday perspective, can you guys share more about how this system came about and what are you guys trying to take advantage during these short periods? JP, maybe you can share first.
It's more on nag-evolve nga siya. So, meron kaming discussion with the team. Nakikita namin, kaya naman yung mga stocks, it can go to 3R plus. But the question is, can you hold it based on your trading identity? So, kasi maybe bibigay siya ng 4 to 5R, but hindi mo naman siya mahahawakan based on your trading identity. Sure, meron siyang mga pullbacks, but the question is, can you hold it, yung volatility, going to your 5R, so going to your target. So, for us...
Can I just butt you in really quick?
Yes,
so R is basically, to those who, especially the ones that are relatively new, R is what we call risk. So when we talk about 1R, basically from the entry point to the stop loss, that's 1R for us. And so what JP is saying is that in that intraday span of having that 1R, can you get a 3R return also? Okay, so just to clarify that. Okay, JP, go ahead.
Yes, that is also a discussion with the daily setups then. So may probability talaga na yung mga setups natin, it will go multiple reward. But the question is, can you hold it? But for us, kami yung type na based on our identity, hindi namin siya mahawakan even though alam mo na yung meron sa story or what, but hindi namin siya mahawakan. So that's why we decided na to just take the profit and then just go to sleep. So when we hit at least 1 or 2R. Ayan.
So on average, like, I know you guys do a lot of homework pre-market, right?
Yes.
So ang dami niyong ginagawa parang hindi naman lahat ng stocks na gumagalaw pinapatulan niyo . So Bea, why don't you share your input since alam ko marami kang ginagawa para dito . And parang what's the approach of the team? Parang which sectors, how do you guys pick and choose which stocks to trade, which 90-degree stocks to trade for that point, for that day?
Okay. Starting off the year, may napansin kaming biglang nagbo-burst ng mga biotech. So, hindi pa ganun ka-big deal yung COVID before. So, nakikita na namin siya sa screener. Tapos, bakit kaya lagi siyang gap up like this stock? Bakit siya gap up? Anong ginagawa ng stock na to? Bakit sobrang daming tao nakatingin sa stock na to? So, from then, nag-build kami ng sarili naming watch list. So, that comprised of parang mga COVID stocks na. Tapos, biglang naging big deal na yung COVID by that time. So, yun yung nilalaro namin. So, usually, kapag nag-gap siya, tinitingnan na namin yung mga number of, volume talaga yung parang deciding factor namin. So, yung requirement namin, hindi siya dapat siya yung top gainers. Hindi ganun . Dapat kung sino yung tinitingnan ng maraming tao. So, kapag tinitingnan ng masyadong maraming tao, hindi lang mga like retail traders, ganyan. Hindi siya parang bound to be dumped . Ganun. So, iwas siya ng pump and dump talaga. So, kailangan insti-buying din siya. So, yun, that's it.
So, you talked about volume. Can you describe more about volume? Parang anong volume ba hinahanap niyo normally?
So, usually kapag pre-market, meron na siyang volume na mahigit sa parang 2 million. Pre-market pa lang. So, ibig sabihin, kapag open na ng market, super liquid niya na. So, makakapagpasok na kami agad. At saka, yung exit namin, sobrang defined na siya agad. So, yun. Yun yung important sa scalping. Yung exit mo defined na. So, may lalabasan ka kapag natalo ka, at saka may lalabasan ka kapag kumita. So, parang ganun.
Is this 2 million shares value or volume?
Volume. Volume ako usually tumitingin. Hindi sa value. So, volume lang.
That's actually a lot. So you get what time frames do you guys use? 3 minutes, 5 minutes?
So, ako personally, nag-start ako sa 1 minute. Tapos, comparable siya sa 5 minutes na chart. So, kapag nagko-quiet siya sa 1 minute, tapos para siyang slingshot sa 5 minutes, saka ako papasok kapag na-break yung parang candles high ng pause ng 5 minutes. So, parang ganun lang basically.
Is this pre-market or
Trading
Or-
or no?
trading hours? So
Yeah.
so the pre-market is just for you to filter all the watch lists and all the stocks
Yeah.
that you guys are monitoring lang. Para at least alam mo
Yes.
kung ano yung patulan mo for that day.
Yeah.
And then the setup that you guys use is the 5 minute, 1 minutes per opening na.
Yeah.
Just to be clear.
Yes.
Okay. JP, Adric, similar ba kayo? 5 minutes and 1 minutes also?
Actually, ako pure daily na rin talaga ako. Although, yung execution ko during the breakout ng momentum setups, minomonitor ko ng 5 minutes just to see na hindi ako masusundot. So, yun lang yung purpose ng intraday for me. Pero as to watch list, ginagamit ko pa rin yung team screener namin. Parang after ititrade ni na JP and Bea na intraday, sa akin na naman yan, mag-momentum daily. Hihintayin ko yung post days. So, parang ganun yung dynamics namin.
So parang during that period of high volatility where sobrang in play, usually sila Bea and JP yung naglalaro.
Yes.
And then you're trying to be there like when things start to quiet after the quiet day and
Yes. Ako na bahala sa daily, kumbaga ganun.
got it. So very similar to what Brian's doing also on a day-to-day, diba?
I think ang tawag nila dyan, DPA. Tama ba yun? DPA?
Yes, daily price action.
Yun, no?
So, normally, yung day 1, like yung magnitude day, so, normally, andun ako, RJ and Bea. So, on the day 1 of yung magnitude, so we try to intraday on the day 1. And then, we expect na magkaroon siya ng mga post day. So, follow through yung volume. Kasi on the day 1, there's a volume. And then, unusual volume, and then we wait for the setup. Then, pag andun na yung setup, it's either Bea and Adric will be there na on the daily setup. Pero pag on the daily setup, nag-gap up siya. So, RJ tsaka ako naman, nandun na kami pag nag-gap up ulit siya. So, pag daily siya, so si Bea and Adric yung mag-execute for us.
So ano ba screener nyo pre-market? So what do you guys look for? Let's say like I don't know if like a Tesla is there. Papatulan nyo ba Tesla? I mean, considering sobrang laki na niya, so I don't know if that's part of your screener. I assume most of what you want is yung mga lower market caps also.
Yan. Meron kaming sarili-sariling trading identity. So for RJ, wala siyang pakialam for the market cap. So as long as it is in play, so any market cap. So ayun. But for me, prefer ko yung specifically yung price less than 100. Kasi price over 100, yung spread, yung fluctuation is medyo hindi siya for me yung medyo natuthrow off ako dun sa movement pag yung price over 100. So meron ding kaming data analytics for the which price range na kumikita kami. So normally kumikita ako yung mga price range na less than 20.
Okay. So less than $20. Pero
Yes,
sa data analytics ni RJ, any price, wala
any
siyang...
price. Basta ang kanya talaga is more na ayun, basta nag-gap and yun yung mga execute niya.
Got it.
Can any one of you sino ba pwede mag-share ng chart visually so we can see how exactly you guys pick or trade stuff.
Japes?
Sige, isang sample na lang siguro ng mover is yung recently. So in play ngayon is yung mga EVs. So
Yeah.
one of the backdoor EV is yung Shell, SHLL.
Mm-hmm.
So gap up siya near the resistance, pre-market to volume na siya. So we're looking to enter.
So mas prefer niyo yung mayroong narrative ng konti ganyan. Mas prefer niyo ito,
Papasok siya. I mean, sobrang bonus na siya. So once
Bonus na yun.
may narrative siya, so ito yung mas mag-add on conviction. But the volume itself on this day na nag-gap up siya, so
Okay.
pre-market pa lang, convincing na siya. And then, magbe-break siya ng major previous resistance, so something to look on. Kaya ito yung pumasok sa radar.
Okay. Sige.
The next day gap. 22.
Yeah, that's the day.
Okay.
Ito.
Zoom in mo na lang, Edric.
Yep. Japes, pre-market pa.
Hindi, yan. Okay na yan.
Okay na.
Pa-zoom pa. Ayan. So, ito, may 180 siya, 5 minutes. So, break off around 33. Ayan. So, just size it below. Yung
Sorry,
open.
you're buying is the pullback here? That first one?
Yung 180, the downtick, uptick, and buy on the breakout. Around 33.
33.
Yan. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that one. Yeah. So do you guys, ano risk nyo dyan? Ano VAR nyo? How much VAR do you guys risk pag intraday?
Standard na ako ng 0.5 at any point of trading.
Got it.
So, ayan. No? And then, hindi siya nag-stop sa 1 hour, which is your 35. So, I just try to hold it. Then, around 37, nag-pull back siya. So, na-reach yung 2 hours. So, I sold half on 2 hour. And then, before I sleep, sold 1/4 and then 1/4 the next day. So, ganun talaga. The next day, nag-up down siya. Just throw everything. So, ayun. So, but may mga chances yung kicker mo will run on the next day. So, hindi naman natin alam. Ayan. So, yung 1/4 is naka-trail siya on the pattern. Kaya hindi naman siya na-done na bago ako matulog. And then the next day, it capped down. So, at least 1/4 na lang naman siya. And still ahead naman of my price.
What's your deciding factor for holding a stock overnight? Kasi you mentioned a while ago, most of the time, like within the day, tapos na kayo diba? So you guys are just scalping every day. So what's the deciding factor for holding that kicker?
We always try to hold the 1/4 kasi may price pa siya. But naka-trail siya. So if it is a weak close, so most probably madadan siya. Kasi pag weak close siya, the next day sure yan gap down. So but if it is a strong close, so the next day sure may follow through pa. At least your 1/4 will still run eh.
So let me so at least everybody's clear on the listeners. Okay. So entry, usually you're selling half at 1 hour, another half 2 hour, and then the 1/4 that you guys are holding, right? You guys put a trail stop on the 1/4.
As much as possible, the first selling is to 2 hour if the stock permits. But if nag-pull, hindi siya na-reach yung 2 hour and it pull back to 1 hour, so we sell na the half.
Got it.
So at least yung half yung key doon key factor. So ayun.
Yung balance ba linalagay nyo sa presyo nyo ulit? Or
no, mostly is on the pattern. For me is on the pattern. So ito around 36, break of 36, so I will nilagay ko.
Got it. So parang yung
a strong close, but kasi pag na-break yung 36, most likely tulog na ako. Mangyayari niyan 35 around 31 yung close. The next day talo ka pa. So yun, protect mo rin yung profit mo. So
parang may trail stop ka on the pattern that shows whether it's a pullback, it's a coil within the intraday.
Yes.
Got it. And then you guys just keep on rinse and repeating na lang.
Yes.
Yeah. So who does the decisions for looking for the certain catalyst? So like kanina minention nyo biotech, diba? Tapos this round, now you guys are looking at EV. How do you guys know whether something's in play? Is it because maraming gumagalaw in that entire sector? So for example, like NIO, Workhorse, Shell, Tesla, obviously. Or is it just because one stock is just moving, tapos priority nyo lang?
Si Edric makasagot yun.
Yeah, yung screener namin, actually ganun na Ganun na yung ginagawa namin. If sa screener lumalabas nga sina Neo, even si Tesla, si Workhorse. So, noted na agad na in play yung sector na yun. And during sa everyday meeting namin, we just try to put additional context sa kanya. Pero there are times din na like isang stock lang, may certain catalyst lang siya. Tinatabi pa rin namin siya. Pero yun, noted na ibang catalyst siya. Then, but mas prefer namin yung sectoral plays kasi yan yung mas tumutuloy or for the next few weeks, pwede siyang in play. So, yun. Kahit hindi, like in a JP, hindi lang one day nilang babantayan yun eh. Kahit for the next few weeks, hinihintay nilang mag-settle down for the next gap. Yun, ganun, tinatabi lang namin siya kahit 1 month na.
Just add na lang. So, meron kaming Excel file, meron kaming focus list, but yung focus list is medyo complex siya. Design siya nung data scientist namin na si RJ Hayoma. So, it is designed na kung ano yung gusto ng each trader sa amin. So, dinesign siya kung gusto namin kung gaano kalaki yung gap, kung gaano kalaki yung volume. So, nag-agree kami on something like that. Then, meron kaming watch list every day to discuss. And then, during yung screener namin na yun, bigla mo na lang mapapansin na on like past month, nakita namin merong mga solar. So, solar, nag-move. So, during the day, like, during the meeting namin, nakikita namin kung ano yung mga stocks na bakit parang 4 or 5 stocks ng solar is moving. Bakit yung mga energy sector like Upla, BLDP, the BE, so why are they moving? So parang andun na, so nakikita na namin na parang pare-parehas to. So yun, sobrang nag-help sa amin yung screener namin every day.
Got it. So let's say for example, like tonight, I don't know kung lumalabas sa screener yung mga 3D printing kasi lahat sila nag-breakout kagabi. So like Proto Lab, X1. So a lot of these things parang are also showing. So I mean, if it's an entire sector, I assume mabilis din pumasok sa radar niyo yun, di ba?
Yes. But yung meron kami minimum na to catch yung 90 degrees. Yun, meron kami minimum percentage like is a 10% move.
Okay.
So yung PRLB is less than 10%. So hindi siya parang for us hindi lumalabas yung mga pag less than. I like Tesla is moving talaga parang meron talaga siyang alpha eh.
Got it. Makes sense. There was a question here just to add. You talked about the 1/4 on your trail. And then let's say, for example, the gap down sa morning, diba? Do you just sell it, get out, or do you get out sa pre-market pa?
Just wait for the market open. So you don't know what will happen at the open.
Okay. In addition, especially to the scalping team siguro, parang until what time do you guys trade? Do you guys have a specific hours daw that's more favorable to the traders?
Si Bea, makasagot si Bea.
Actually, meron kaming data. Parang, usually kasi merong mga coils, intraday coils, na nangyayari usually around 11 p.m. ng gabi. So, yung mga stocks na nagko-coil at around 11, napapansin namin hindi siya tumutuloy. So, usually nako-caught kami medyo last part na ng move. That's why nag-ano kami na parang dapat 12 o'clock hindi na tayo magta-try ng intraday or dapat 11 p.m. Wala na tayong initiation. Parang mag-i-initiate ng bibili uli ng stock at around 11, ganun. So, pahinga na kung wala talagang nakita.
So parang you guys are engaging in that volatility during the first hour and a half from 9:30 to 11. Tapos, normal yan eh, diba? After the volatility, mag-die down yan sa hapon eh. Before, usually there's going to be another move or wala eh, diba? So you want to get out before that stock that's in play is partly dying down also.
Yes.
Got it.
Yan. Normally, nag-gather lang kami ng data, but before kasi we still trade around 12 and 1 a.m. So, normally around 12 plus, so no more open trades. Wala na mag-open ang trade, so it's more on managing the trade na lang kung gusto mo pang mag-stay up. So, ayan. So, but no more open trades. Based on data kasi, breadcrumbs na lang for the intraday around 12 o'clock eh. So sayang lang yung effort minsan. So in the morning, alam mo na natama ka na agad. So dapat ahead ka na in the morning. Around 9:30 to 11, dapat ahead ka na eh. So you just manage to trade na lang doon in those times.
Got it. Kasi pag position trading normally what's more important is the afternoon diba? So yung after that intraday coil, or you want to be buying near the close rather than the opening. Kasi usually morning is volatility. But when you guys are momentum and scalping, you have to participate in that period of volatility because that's where things are rising sharply diba? In a short amount of time.
Yes.
Got it. So Ken has a question also. So do you wait out the volatility or for it to come down in the morning, in the open? I think Bea already touched this. So Bea, can you answer it again? Yung sa open, kasi diba gap up na yan
So usually kapag nag-open na yung stock, hinihintay namin mag-quiet down. Ako personally, ginagamit ko 1 minute para mag-quiet down siya. Tapos i-confirm ko siya using my 5-minute chart. So like for example, momentum setup pa rin siya pero intraday. So like boomer siya intraday, papasukin ko pa rin siya. As long as quiet siya ng 1 minute. Usually kasi makikita mo siya 5 minute, okay siya, pero yung 1 minute niya pala, hindi siya ganun ka ganda. So medyo nati-throw off din ako sa ganung klaseng move. Minsan kasi susundutin ka tapos ano lang, parang bebentahan agad. Ganun. So yun yung mga iniiwasan ko.
So David's asking, ilan trades ba kayo in a month normally? Or like in a day? Hindi, sige, month na lang. Kasi yung focus list nyo, pre-market diba? So I don't know, marami ba yan? And how many times do you re-enter a stock? Just curious lang.
Ako na lang. I'll check my analytics. So, but hindi kasi, it doesn't mean na nag-gap siya and then there's a story and sobrang ganda niya, or if it is a Tesla. But if there's no entry, kasi on the first 15 minutes pala, nagparabolic na siya and then wala nang entry for me. So, hindi ko na siya tinetrade. So, isa pang kailangan mayroon siyang low risk entry for me. So, the sample na binigay ko sa'yo, so makakapag-peg ako ng risk. So, ibibigay ko lahat ng 0.5 bar ko doon kasi sobrang ganda ng entry. But if walang entry, so, ganoon talaga. So, hindi ko naman lahat mahuhuli. So, but if there's an entry, so dapat may execute siya. So, for the past months, around 50 to 60 trades. So, ayan.
That's buy and sell na, no?
No, it's a total trade. I mean,
One 50 round trip na yan, no? So that's what?
Round trip, yes.
So that's what? 3 trades in a night, I assume, on average? 20 days
Yes. 3 times.
And those 3 already pre-selected pre-market. Tama ba?
Yes. So, yun yung one thing na in-improve namin over time. So, sobrang dangerous kasi ng intraday trading. So, every time, sobrang dami na nag-gap. So, you don't know which one is yung ipaprioritize. But, dumating yung time na I've been to pump and dump issues. Kasi, I mean, wala pa siya volume pre-market So, bigla na lang siya magpapap intraday. So, yun, attempt ka makisali and then parang feel mo may entry pa or something. So, ngayon, para magkaroon ng additional quality yung trades, so pre-market pa lang alam mo na lahat ng tao nagkakagulo na gusto magkaroon ng stock na to. So, pre-market pa lang, doon pa lang prepared ka na. Hindi yung around midday, meron ka nakikita, naghahanap ka na magagawa. So, pre-market, yung stock na napili mo, hindi gumalaw. So, tulog na.
I have a question.
Sir.
Kasi, so from the way I see it, it's really something really fast. Talagang kailangan bantayan yung price action every day. Maraming activities, diba? So, one of the pitfalls that I see that I think that you were able to overcome is that this type of technique kaya nagkaroon ng ano ng AI di ba? Yung mga robot trading because ganito kabilis you're able to scalp the market. So the only pitfall is kaya nga siya ginagawang computerized is most of the time traders that trade this fast hindi nila na-overcome yung consecutive losses, di ba? Kasi sobrang dami. So at a certain point, so yung sunod-sunod na to, is this working? Is this working, di ba? Gagawin ko ba uli yung system na dinesign ko for the next trade? Tutuloy ko na. So ang tanong ko, so what really makes this work? Ano yung iniisip nyo every time you experience those drawdowns? Diba? What really makes this aside from the system? Or is it really just following the system?
Ako ba? So, I think hindi siya masyado sustainable. That's why you still have the daily setups. Important is there's a stock in play. So, if there's no stock in play, so that will be very, very difficult to trade. So, kaya pag like June and July, may mga data for the COVID. So, there's where we make super performance last June and July because there's a lot of biotech issues gapping up and merong uncertainty, informed speculation. So during those times, kailangan mag-participate and then make money as much as you can. Then during those times naman like this month, tingin ko yung EV issues are just little bit so hindi kasing hype ng COVID issue. So most kailangan meron ka pa rin daily setup. So that's why nandun pa rin naman ako, I still do have the daily setups. Pag hindi gumagana yung mga intradays and parang tingin ko na hindi naman in-stock in place talaga siya.
So
sorry, go ahead. Sige, Bri.
Parang there's a way for you to, let's say, sige, pause muna ako, ganyan. Parang ganyan. Pause muna ako. Or tuloy pa rin yan. Or kasi, diba, since maraming trades yan in a year, it will work if you are as disciplined in doing it, or diba, kahit masiklit sa kalooban mo, kailangan mo gawin. Ganyan ba? O talagang pag tinatama ka, tatabi ka?
I think follow pa rin yung system. Kaya nga siya, yung heat ratio ko is around 40 to 45%. So tanggap naman siya. So but continuous improvement na lang sa heat ratio. For now it's 40-45, but yung target for the year at least kahit paano around 50%. Like yun yung goal ng team na may improve yung picks, quality ng picks. Kasi kung hindi ka mag-execute, so hindi mo may improve yung ano yung wrong dun sa mga trades na ginawa mo. So, ayan, kung yung for the current system, pag tinawag ka ng trade and then merong entry, so you need to trade it talaga eh.
Can you illustrate more on your data analytics? So you mentioned about 45 to 50, tama ba, hit ratio?
Yes. No, it's 40 to 45. I have it.
Ano yung edge mo? I mean, so
My
this
edge
is for momentum ba or for scalping?
Yeah, for scalping.
40 to 45.
Yes.
Tapos yung edge nyo?
My edge is around 2.5.
40 to 45. And then 2.5 edge.
Yes. May secret dyan. So,
ano?
You have to churn 10 times.
Woo! 10 times?
I mean,
a month?
Sorry, mali pala to. Ano to? Tama, 10 times, sorry. 10
In a
times.
month?
In a month.
Yes.
Ay, kasi you're just rinse and repeat eh.
Yes. Yun yung importante doon yung merong churning on quality trades yung tawag namin. So, pwede ka naman mag-churn on para lang magkaroon ng experience or what, or because nabobore ka. So, churn na pa rin naman yung tawag doon. But if you're churning on your system na 45% hit ratio, so I think andun na kami. So, yung tingin namin, yung edge is hindi na control yung edge for us. It's more of probability. Dito ba explain nga? Probability. Sorry. So, probability game yun eh. So, kung tumuloy siya, kung na-hit yung 2R ko, yes, thank you. Pero normally, hindi naman natin alam kung until what yung edge ko eh. But on the heat side, so on the quality trades, so kung ano yung mga issues na tinatrade mo, so yun yung something na you can improve on eh. So at least kung okay yung mga trades mo, yung mga stocks mo, and then you just churn it with a 2.5 edge, so I think so profitable, maging profitable trader ka talaga. Consistently.
Is that numbers on the team or iba-iba yung numbers nila Bea at ni Adric as a whole? Or like are those numbers in line? Maybe Bea, Adric?
Yeah, sa numbers ko for momentum trading, ganun din. Around nasa 42, 42.8, tapos yung edge ko nasa 2.3, around there. Pero yung goal is higher edge and higher hit with quality stock selection, then edge follows kapag quality yung stock selection mo.
So for me, almost same siya kay Japes. So around 45% yung hit ko. Tapos yung edge ko kapag momentum, mas mataas siya compared sa scalping. So kapag momentum, nasa around 3+. Tapos kapag scalping, around 2.5 times.
Got it. There's a question here. It involves, let's say like, kasi nabili nyo na eh. Let's say like nag-quiet within those first 15 minutes that you guys were talking about. So yung entry nyo, quiet na eh, diba? So parang define na yung entry tsaka exit nyo eh. How fast or how lenient do you guys give the stock before nata-time stop na kayo? Does that make sense? Let's say like 5 minutes pa, hindi pa gumagalaw. Do you guys just scratch it and then let's go for another day? Or lalabanan nyo hanggang stop nyo?
Ako personally, expectation kasi kapag nag-intraday ka tapos pumasok ka, dapat gagalaw na siya eh. So if it didn't meet your expectation na move niya, dapat wala ka na dun eh. So either papatalo ka ng half var mo or papatalo ka ng full var mo. So ganun.
So usually pag ganun, hindi pa gumagalaw, half bar ba yung pinapatalo nyo? Or
so ako pag depende sa formation na ginawa niya. Yun talaga yung basis eh. Hindi lang yung kung gaano katagal. Importante yung kung anong gagawin niyang formation.
okay.
So kapag nag-coil siya 1 minute tapos na-break niya yung 1 minute coil, dapat wala na ako doon. Ibig kasi sabihin, sa 5 minute, parang magko-coil siya. So pwede naman ako pumasok ulit sa susunod na breakout. So parang ganun lang. Uulitin ko lang uli yung trade on a much parang lesser volatile na mas quiet na sa akin.
Got it. Adric?
Yeah. Actually, yung for momentum trading ko, usually lang naman. Yung usual from slingshots to boomers, mga 1 to 4 days, dapat gumalaw na eh.
So ikaw daily ka?
Daily. Pure daily lang. And yung role ng intraday ko is to monitor lang kung na-scratch yung breakout daily ko.
Got it.
Okay.
Kapag in the clear na siya, like after 30 minutes, okay lang, nandun lang sa presyo ko. Hinayaan ko na yung stops ko para systematic as possible.
Got it. So let's say like 4th day, hindi pa gumagalaw, dun mo na inisip mag-scratch.
Yeah, time stop na. And most of the time, aabutan na rin yung previous day's low eh. Ma-i-invalidate na rin yung trade. So, straightforward naman kapag mali ka na. Pero, yeah, what's important, may system ka rin for time stop. Yeah.
Got it. JP, anything to add?
So, lahat kayo merong scratch zone, ano? Iba-iba yung scratch zone yun.
Yep.
Yun yung question, answer talaga is yung kay Bea is depending on the formation na gagawin niya eh. Kasi mas maganda sana kung pag-open pa lang, nag-flat na siya. So at least mapepeg mo yung risk na maganda. Pero kung first 15 minutes, nag-pull siya and then nag-pull back siya or falling coil siya intraday, so something na mahirap mag-peg ng risk. Diba? So gusto natin yung medyo blue sky or flat coil during first 15 minutes. So yun. So something na the same din naman kung daily tayo, di ba? Ibang klase tayo mag-risk depending on the formation on the daily.
Yes.
Ganun din. Ganun din sa intraday, lower time frame.
Okay. So there's a question already on pre-market. I think they mentioned it a while ago. Most of the time they use 2 million shares as their pre-screener. And then for price, they're looking at anything moving above 10%. Tama ba?
Ayun, just clarify, for stocks moving 10%, kailangan meron siyang news and catalyst. So to avoid pump and dump. So for moving 5% above, so ayun, okay lang kahit mga stocks in play.
Okay. So
As for us,
yeah, as for no problem. 2 million shares and then above 5%, tapos kailangan may news and catalyst.
yes.
Yeah.
Great. What else? There's a lot of questions. I'll go to the questions really fast. Bri, maybe you have something to ask first.
May question ako, isa. Isa lang. Pero it's not about the system anymore. Siguro, are we finished with the system? Or can we go
There's
to...
still questions kasi about the system.
Okay.
So, so just for reclarifications, there's a whenever they're pegging any of their exit or their stop loss, it's always one depending on the setup. So usually if it's momentum, they just use the proper day's low, right? Same case for pegging exit on an intraday. They also peg exit on that day's low. So it could have gapped up and then they use that day's low. So each setup that they use has a scratch zone. That's correct also. So same concept. If you're not sure what the scratch zone is, we just did an entire video with Lawrence. I think it's very clear on that end. So please use that also as your reference. There are questions here about Philippines. No, I don't think they do this on the Philippines because there's nothing moving in the Philippines at all. So it's very different. Philippines is a different animal. It's very difficult to scalp anything in the Philippines because wala naman laman eh.
3 years ago, meron. 3 years ago.
Okay, right? You have anything else to ask?
May question ako kay Drick.
Yes, sir.
Say you're new with us, relatively new. But you're on your way to increasing your VAR, I believe.
Yep.
Ang tanong ko sa'yo, the same question when I watched your video, kaya ba talaga?
I-increase yung VAR?
Kaya ba talaga mag-succeed dito sa trading?
Kaya talaga. Well, kaya talaga. Lalo na yung when I was working with Sir Lo, yun, pa-plant ng ano sa pero kaya in terms of yung system in place na andyan na yung system eh. Tapos relative naman yung VAR, I mean in terms of per hour, yung sa system per hour naman yung ano ba yun, Sir Bray? Yung pinag-uusapan natin. So yung 1 hour
parang you can parang you're saying you can apply the same approach with a higher VAR.
Yeah.
Eventually.
Yep. So right now kasi I'm at 0.5 VAR. So yung goal at the end of the year mag 1% VAR. Kaya pa rin. Yep. Kasi I believe relative lang naman sa risk.
Okay.
I mean, what's important is that you always know how much you're risking at every given point in time naman eh, diba?
Yep. Before heading into the trade, alam mo na yung worst case mo, alam mo na yung magkano tatalunin mo.
Pero minsan if you're not really into your system, pang hindi pa medyo hinog yan, pag nag-raise ka ng size, diba? Minsan nagiging...
Yep. Actually, yun nga yung challenge, Sir Bry, minsan kapag example, nag-winning streak ka, pero we go through it naman kaming mga new traders, parang naranasan namin magka-winning streak. Parang ito na yata yung system na to. Pero, yun, kapag nag-go through mo na rin, talo ka and all, and you still believe in your system, tapos at the end of the day, probabilistic mindset ka lang. I guess yun yung nag-change talaga sa mindset ko, na letting yung probabilities game lang talaga. But at the same time, dapat systematic lahat ng ginagawa mo in terms of stock picking, in terms of execution and your review. yun, doon magiging valid na probabilistic mindset ka. Pero kasi kapag nag-system hop ka, gumana kasi ito today, gumana to next month, doon mawawala yung focus. Tapos, at the end of the day, restart ka na naman ng ibang system. So, I guess, yun, dapat careful ka kapag early stages ng career mo, careful ka sa system hopping.
Pwede ba this week systematic ako, next week okay lang na hindi?
Yung may tendency talagang ganyan eh. So it's very easy kasi kapag lalo na kung kumita, yun talaga yung pitfall doon. Parang nababalidate lahat eh. Pero yeah, being systematic, parang all in the mind talaga.
Kasi it's easy for you to, like, you go through 2, 3, 4 losses, tapos biglang 2% VAR down ka na eh, diba? Kasi 4 losses times 0.5. Ano, diba? So sometimes it's very easy to parang put in the biases na parang syempre now you start to question, teka. Parang what am I doing wrong, diba? Instead of trying to rely on a probability game, diba?
Yep.
Now you do it over 100 times or whatsoever. The outcome should still be positive. I mean, knowing that the system is working this way, diba?
Right. That's why parang Sir Lo always asks, tinatanong niya lagi sa amin na 10 out of 10 times would you still trade this stock kahit talo? We would say na yes, we would trade it 10 out of 10 times. Ibig sabihin, pasok talaga siya sa system mo. Pero if you to yourself na you felt na naging discretionary ka at some point sa trade na yun, yun yung problema. Pero kung naging systematic ka naman from planning to review, no problem. Part of the process.
Got it. Sorry, Bryce. Sige.
Marami ang question eh. Sorry. Kay Bea. Si Bea, interesting kasi seatmate niya si Zar, our champion, our sir. So you're basically surrounded with, yung mga solid na natin, stock pickers. What made you choose this approach? Kasi, well, it's a very short-term approach. Pero parang yung dinaanan mo, parang dumaan ka sa mga parang position trading fit for position trading yung mga style nila. Pero napili mo to. Is it the logic of it or dahil it makes you money?
Ako, personally, it fits kasi may personality. So, ano lang ako na bobor for me kapag masyadong matagal mag-move yung stock. So, kapag using this one, gusto ko kasi andyan na agad eh. So, alam ko na from the start mali ako or from the start, didiretso na yung stock. So, kapag kasi nag-try pa ako ng iba, like, magko-coil ako, hindi ko alam kung tutuloy ba siya kinabukasan or maghihintay pa ng matagal na na move. So, kapag ito, andyan na, ayun, papasok na lang ako, tapos exit na lang din.
Hindi kayo nangihinayang. Kunyari, nakita nyo after few days, uy, niscalp ko tong isa. Pero lumipad pa, ganyan. Hindi kayo. Ano yung iniisip?
Ako, personally, na ano naman na yun eh, na parang nasabi na namin sa sarili namin na yung makukuha namin dito sa scalping is hindi siya as high as yung parang kapag nag-position or nag-swing ka. So, yung makukuha namin is based on our hours lang. So, ang maganda lang sa amin is meron kaming parang everyday, meron kaming opportunity. So, yung parang sayang na tumuloy siya, meron pang ibang stocks na mag-move na pasok sa system namin. So, hindi siya necessarily sayang kasi hindi namin nasakyan buong move. So, yun lang.
Meron ba talaga, totoo ba talaga yung intraday research? Meron ba talagang gano'n? Jay, para sa'yo may question ako. Matagal ko na gusto tanong eh.
Nako.
So season trader, di ba? When was the moment na sinabi mo, oy, ito na yung system ko. I just want to do this. pwede kong negosyo to. Naalala mo ba yung exact moment na nangyari yun? Or napansin mo na lang dahil 2 years ka nang profitable, uy, ito na yun. Parang ganyan.
Siguro part ng journey yung may experience na rin kasi nag-start ako around 2016 ng US trading. Yung mga times na from 2016 to 2018, ang daming Fed. Di ba, Tito Bray, tama ba? Maraming mga
Fed,
Fed
intervention,
lagi ako nag-gap down. So, lagi ako nangihinaya sa profit. Para sobrang ganda ng mga issues. And then, maraming mga announcement and everything yung mga Fed. So, lagi ako nag-gap down. But eventually, tumutuloy. So, from there, sa ako na nakita na sayang naman yung lagi ako nasasayangan sa profit. So, that's why, kinuha ko na lang yung just take the profit. Tapos, masaya pala yung feeling. Para nakakasave ako nung emotions. As na-build ko yung emotion ng being a trader na hindi ako nag-gap down kasi sobrang may tiwala ako dun sa setup tapos nag-gap down ako. So yung mga black swan. So ayun, yung feeling na nasa-save ko sa gap down versus dun sa feeling na naiiwan ako. So parang mas gusto ko yung nakuha ko na yung pera. So from there, ayun, yung feeling ng kumikita so kesa yung naiwan ka. So ayun. So mas pinili ko na lang na kumita na lang every day or every opportunity kukunin ko na yung pera. So rather than magatan or maiwan or magantay. So ayun, almost same with Bea din.
I have a question for you, Japes. So usually sa classroom kasi mabait ako sa lahat ng students eh. Pero usually pagdating sa trader, especially the ones in-house, I'm always hard on all the traders eh. And but I mean, it often shows kasi like some people like I feel don't take it as serious as others eh, diba? But you, JP, like from day one, from batch one, parang mindset mo talaga, parang you're here to make a lot of money eh. Right? And that's why parang, and I appreciate it, diba? So I mean, what's driving you? Kasi I honestly believe like it's very difficult for mediocrity in this game eh. Diba? Parang you have to have that mindset that you want to be willing to improve yourself every single day. Diba? So parang ikaw, like on batch one, like you're the only one left. Diba? So what is that? I mean, what do you think is your secret?
Hindi na siya secret. But yun, honestly, yung ginagawa ko talaga is trading for a living. So if I didn't make money, so wala akong pambayad ng kuryente and everything. So it's more yung hunger ko and yung passion for this. Yun, wala akong pangkain and everything for if hindi, yun yung naka-inline dito sa pag hindi ko pinagbutihan, pag hindi ko ni-review, pag hindi ako nag-innovate. So, pag nag-stop ako, so walang mangyayari sa akin. So, it's more on talagang totoong trading for a living talaga. Yun lang.
Pag nag-stop ka, walang mangyayari sa'yo.
Wala akong mangyayari sa akin.
Natuloy-tuloy lang, no?
Kasi, I'll be honest, JP, nung una, medyo mabagal ka pa mag-process ng info eh, diba? Pero like but the nice thing about you is that even though it takes you longer to process, you're always willing naman to learn and to and listen. And I feel that's one of your biggest advantages also because sometimes you'll always tell me, ang hirap-hirap ng fundamentals eh. Yan lagi mo sinasabi sa akin eh. Hirap na hirap ka mag-fundamentals eh, diba? But I mean, if you think about it, the more you start to do it and you start to read about it, you start to notice about different patterns, different news. It's not even, hindi naman malalim na analysis naman eh, diba?
Yes.
Actually, diba? If you think about it, diba? But somehow all those mental models, and you keep on doing it over and over again, right? It becomes easier for like an individual to just notice, okay, now we understand that this sector is in play. Why is it in play? Not even trying to understand, is it going to be $100 billion or whatsoever, diba?
Yeah.
Important yun. Open-minded talaga. So, hindi talaga natatapos yung improvement ng system eh. But the base system is nandun na. So, improvement. So, yun. Kailangan talaga yun. Fundamentals din and the use and the catalyst.
Eh, great.
May question dito. Maganda yung question na isa. Paano mo ma-avoid yung mag-freeze during trading? Sobrang bilis ng system nyo.
Don't freeze.
Or just do it. Paano nyo? How do you... Or wala na yan sa inyo? Sino pwedeng sumagot? Edric.
Well, I guess siguro yung in reference sa question nyo, yung intraday ni JP. Pero kung ako, everything's pre-planned na kasi before the market eh. Sa situation ko. Lahat ng stops ko ready na. Sinasubmit ko na lang. So, hindi na issue yung pag-freeze. I guess. Pero, yeah, I understand. Nangyayari talaga yun. Ganun talaga. Before kasi nag-intraday din ako. Sinasabayan ko sina JB. Hindi ko kaya, sabi ko. So, sabi ko, I'd stick na lang sa momentum. So, ayun. Planning everything before the market lang. Yun lang.
Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
I think it helps kapag nasanay ka na sa move. Yung kasi importante, mag-gain ka ng confidence using kung ano man yung system mo. So, kapag nagkaroon ka na ng confidence, ayun na eh, hindi ka na ma-freeze eh. I mean, okay siya kasi yun yung parang unang step para ma-establish mo yung system mo. At least, at that time, malalaman mo, ganito pala yung feeling ng mag-i-intraday or ano, diba? So, from that moment, makikita mo na para sa'yo ba siya or hindi. So, yun lang.
Yeah, just to add lang, I mean, one of the things that we've been trying to incorporate also is scratch zones into every single system. And having your stop loss zone and a scratch zone obviously should eliminate dapat wala ka ng discretion in terms of your selling. And I think that's the important part when it comes to any single system. Again, if you're not sure what a scratch zone is, please watch Lawrence's episode. Very good episode. I think it's very clear on how you should be mentally prepared for every single stock that you will encounter. Okay. We're 5 o'clock. I think we're over the limit. I only put a 1 hour limit on this. So maybe, and it's perfect because somebody has this last question about being a fresh graduate. I was going to ask, what's your last piece of advice in this industry? And yeah, what would you tell to future traders such as yourself?
Okay.
Laban lang.
Laban lang talaga. Well, siguro ako kasi ilang years na ba? Matagal na rin pala ako graduate. Okay, so I guess know your personality in trading through data. Yun yung pinaka-important. Well, yung personality mo muna, are you, yung first question, investor ka ba or trader? So, na-identify naman na trader. So, next, ano ba, parang into the long game ka ba? Active into the long game ka ba? Mga coils, resets, or momentum trading? So, yeah, yung first step siguro, gather data kung saan ka talaga mas comfortable and confident and know your risk appetite. So, you really have to do it lang talaga. Mag-trade ka lang na mag-trade kahit maliit na amount muna, pero trade using real money na kasi dun papasok yung next challenge of controlling your emotions. Kasi part talaga ng trading yun eh. Kahit anong sabihin mo in theory, iba talaga when you're doing it. So yeah, kapag may data ka na, kilala mo na sarili mo sa trader, you develop your system around it. Example, si JP, si Bea, intraday sila, ako, momentum. So na-establish na yun na ito yung strengths namin and we try to maximize and develop na lang our system. So yun. Also, kapag knowing the context of stocks kung bibili na. Wag lang basta bumili. Yun yung pinaka learning ko. Naalala ko lagi yung sa Revalid ako. Lagyan mo ng content yan, sabi ni Sir Edmund. Wag puro chart. So you should know what you're buying.
Yeah.
Since yung trading kasi ano siya, 'di ba? Marathon, hindi siya racing. So it helps na magkaroon ka ng mentor. Kapag nagkaroon ka ng mentor, malalesen yung learning curve mo. So dapat yung mentor mo parehas kayo ng trading style. Yun talaga. Dapat syempre kung gusto mo matuto ng isang strategy, dapat kung ano na yung parang strategy mo na rin. So kapag may mentor ka, mapo-point out niya kung ano yung mali na ginagawa mo or ano yung dapat mong i-improve pa. At saka mas maganda kung meron ka ring community. Tapos at least doon sa community, malalaman mo kung ano yung parang sa data nila kung anong nag-work. Tapos pwede mo i-backtest. Tapos baka mamaya kasi yun din yung fit din para sa'yo. So mas maganda yung mas marami ka ring nakukuhaan ng data. Tapos i-apply mo rin sa sarili mo. Tapos saka mo ngayon i-filter kung mag-work siya or hindi. So it all boils down sa mismong personality mo talaga. Tapos ikaw na yung magde-decide kung anong klase kang trader. So yun.
So last but the best, and your mentor, JP?
Yun.
Great trader.
Most likely, pare-press kami ng mindset kasi isang group kami at ayun, sobrang priority for us is yung, ito, for full-time trader to sa akin is find your trading identity and refine based on trading analytics. So, trading, everything should be backed by numbers and not with words alone. So, ang gusto ko sabihin kasi ang sarap ng feeling na momentum trader ka. So, momentum trader, gusto ko maging momentum trader, but your personality, hindi mo pala kaya yung volatility. Nag-freeze ka or, di ba? So, kailangan may numbers. So, to your numbers, makikita mo kung ano yung totoong identity mo. So, once nakita mo na momentum trader ka, try to refine it kasi within the momentum setups, meron pa rin dong mga pwedeng i-improve. So, ayun. So, yun yung goal namin for our team. So, kung ano yung trading identity, so yun yung sobrang importante sa trading. Yan lang.